to what we were talking about last time about the nocebo effect.
Yeah.
If we could 100%, because this ties back to hysterical strength as well, right? Where people who are untrained just lift a car off of their loved ones like it's like nothing,
Yeah.
and they feel zero side effects, right?
Yeah, they don't like it's. Yeah, the way hysterical strength, at least the videos it works, is this mom's never trained before, and
So
then a
imagine
kid.
someone like, let's say we trained our bodies to the utmost limit of our genetics, right? And we were able to freely access hysterical strength through the nocebo effect, right? 100% belief, without a doubt, that you can, let's say, punch through a wall, or you can just fling a car through the air. Would you be able to do it?
Wasn't that? But didn't they prove that the reason hysterical strength is possible is that we all have that strength,
Mm-hmm.
but for our own safety, our bodies never give
But see,
100%
that's the
strength.
theory, right? These are all like, there's no way. How do you test this in the field? There's no scientific way to test this.
Just run 100%.
Come on, seriously. No,
Like give it your all.
but see,
You
think
can't
like,
last for too long.
I guess to like just catch everyone up on the nocebo effect. It's when someone was in a test, they were um, given a fake diagnosis of a disease, and because they 100% without a doubt believed the doctor, right, that they had this disease and there was no cure, or like they were falling sick, they fell sick without ever actually having any disease. That 100% belief caused that the exact symptoms of the disease that they were
Mm-hmm.
told they have. And then when they told it was all just a test, it's benign, there's nothing wrong with you, they immediately recovered, right? So it's a testament to the mind's ability to affect the reality, at least in terms of your body, right? So where does that line draw of the ability of your mind if you connect it to hysterical strength?
But
Because
there is no demand there in that nocebo, the thing you're talking about, where they ask them to do the whole disease thing. They convince them with the disease and all that. There's no cap
no,
off
but the
point.
link between that nocebo effect and hysterical strength is the belief factor.
But maybe, yeah, okay. Maybe the combination is maybe you can have hysterical strength, but maybe like hysterical strength, it's a very temporary thing. You have access to it for maybe 15 seconds. You get what I'm trying to say?
I mean, that would be based on everything we
Based on,
know at current, yeah,
yeah, a current
current knowledge, yeah.
physiological capabilities and all that. Maybe I don't know what in the past it was, but then maybe that's where, because that's what it is, right? They just say you can yeah, like you said, it's 100%. The mom doesn't just think anything.
Hmm.
She just thinks about, I need to save my kid. I'm lifting
There
his
was
weight
no
up.
doubt about what
Yeah,
the outcome would be.
there's no question whether I can
Exactly.
lift that weight or not.
What if you could do that every
It's just
single
that
time you
weight is
need
being
to?
lifted, and it's being lifted, and that's about it. I think we discussed about it a while back. Remember when we were talking about how maybe growth happens when you can be in the spot where
Exactly.
everything is gone,
Mm-hmm.
like in the verge of. I think it was with anime we related it.
Mm.
Like it's
All
in the,
comes back to anime.
it's you're on the verge of death. So that's where there's no more logical reasoning anymore,
Mm.
and that's where growth happens. Do you understand? Do you remember
I get it.
the thing?
Yeah, yeah. I'm with the training principle you're talking
Yeah,
about.
we need to be in such a spot where fatigue has hit you so much, but the problem is when fatigue hits you that much.
Yeah, it goes
Can
against
you?
our conventional knowledge of recovery. I think there's like something else here, because this other strength or something, it goes beyond physiological boundaries in my opinion.
Okay.
I think like your physical strength, assuming this is all true, because we've seen actual like examples of this thing happening where untrained individuals lift entire vehicles off of people, right? It like maybe your physical strength can have a transference to your hysterical strength, right? In some way, but maybe like this hysterical strength is something that, like you said, you gain access to,
Hmm.
right? And it's stronger if you're trained. Because imagine someone like Eddie Hall,
Right.
right? If he accesses his hysterical strength, what would that be?
Maybe there's a cap off point for hysterical strength though. No, could it be possible that you have a certain potential for hysterical strength, and Eddie Hall has accessed 60% of it? Example, you and I have accessed 5%.
Okay, if a completely untrained woman can lift a car, then I'm pretty sure Eddie Hall's hysterical strength, assuming that there's a certain limit to it, would not be just a car. It would be a house or a building or something.
I mean, in that case, the only thing I can say is we've just gone to a point where we're so fragile,
Mm-hmm.
like so fragile. Like even because by those standards, I don't know, these women who portrayed hysterical strength, I don't think they were bleeding out of their nose, were they?
They had no side effects.
Yeah.
Even men, same thing.
Because the funny thing is, they lifted more than Eddie Hall, as far as I know, in
Mhm.
some cases.
A car
But
is
Eddie
more.
Hall,
Lifted 500 without
and
accessing
he
any
was,
of it.
and no, plus he was bleeding though.
Yeah.
So
I think he was obviously at the, because that's what I'm saying. Because if he could access hysterical strength at that point, would that even be a challenge? He could do it with one arm. Because see, I think at that point he maybe accessed less than 1% of it. Less than 1% because he's saying he had to like make his mind go to this place of darkness and everything.
Yeah. Like he was ready to die.
So in a
Like,
way, he might have been able to access some small percentage, right? But there's still that doubt.
see, but the difference is what we discussed in the car earlier, which was when you say you're ready to die and you access a certain amount of strength, that's you saying I don't have fear anymore. That's not you saying I have no doubt I can lift this weight. They're two different things, aren't they?
I don't think you would not have fear in that moment.
No, like he's ready to die. He's accepted. He either lifts his weight.
But that's not the same as being not afraid of death.
Oh, how do you
Being
accept
ready to die and not being afraid of death are two completely different
No,
things.
in that moment, he doesn't have fear, right? Why would you accept death if you have fear at that very moment? I'm not saying in general he doesn't have fear of death.
I mean, that's what bravery is, right?
In that point, that point where he's lifting the weight, he's like, I don't care. I don't fear death anymore. Bring it on. Like I'm ready to die right now. Isn't that not fear anymore?
No, I don't think being ready to die is the same as not being afraid. I don't think anyone, even people who claim that they're tough guys and I'm not afraid of
But
death.
how was he ready to go at that point where he's bleeding and death was a very certain thing for him?
See, conquering your fear is not the same as your fear not being there.
So once you conquer it, doesn't mean fear is not there anymore.
No, I don't think fear is one of those things that's so old and primal. It's like built into your genetics.
Okay, anyway, that was not the point. The point was that I'm trying to make is whether you conquered your fear and you lifted that weight is very different from undeniably believing you can lift that weight.
Mm-hmm.
Conquering lifting a particular weight means you had doubt in the first place. There's something to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
Undeniably knowing you can lift a weight just means what you said.
It's something natural. You don't even think
100%.
about it. Yeah.
I can just lift it.
Like how you,
I don't even need
like how
to.
I'm lifting this phone.
Yeah, I don't even think about it. I'm like, yeah, I can lift that. Like, I guess to an ant, this will be like,
And here's the thing, like according to the nocebo effect, if you can genuinely convince someone that this phone is too heavy for them to lift, they won't be able to lift it. Because if they can convince themselves they have a deadly disease when they don't have it.
How do I convince myself that I
I
can?
mean, obviously it's an exaggeration, but the point is if you can convince someone that they have a deadly disease and they get it, or they at least make their body believes it, and they start exhibiting symptoms even though they don't physically have it, like you should be able to convince someone that they're too weak to lift a phone.
Like, I'm just trying to think if there's any practical examples where some logically it makes sense where somebody was convinced that they cannot
Mm-hmm.
touch something.
Yeah, I think some people who have this like obsessive compulsive disorder where they have to do something a certain number of times or do something in a certain way, and if they don't do it, some unfortunate accident will happen to them, and then that unfortunate accident happens.
That's like astrology.
Not really. I mean, maybe it's
Like
like
they say that something's bad's gonna
or
happen.
a self
to you,
or a
good's gonna happen to
self-fulfilling
you.
prophecy
Nah, right.
where they cause the accident. Well, let's say I'm going to slip on a banana peel.